This video is going to be focusing on the alpha ray species, which is an overarching species family that encompasses the ghost ray, jelly ray, crimson ray, and rabbit ray. The databank entry for this species describes it as different species of ray indigenous to 4546b, each adapted to different environments. The specimens are 99.99% genetically identical to those encountered on the planet today, suggesting that rays in particular have undergone little evolutionary mutation in the past millennium. Ghost rays, jelly rays, crimson rays, and rabbit rays likely all share a common evolutionary ancestor. The alpha ray would have evolved deep in the ocean trenches, quickly growing in line with available food supplies. It would have most resembled the ghost ray in size and appearance, with translucent skin for camouflage and forward-mounted eyes for hunting. A fast and fearsome stalker of small creatures in the dark. While some rays have stayed within the limits of the cave systems where they first evolved, others are relatively more recent adaptations to new environments, likely the results of overpopulation. All of the rays on 4546b have given up predation in favour of herbivorous scavenging and use poisonous flesh to protect themselves. With that explanation covered, let's start with the first, presumably older species, the ghost ray. And to start off with, we're going to get straight into the general comment for the creature in its data log entry, which describes it as: this ray species has adapted to deep sea conditions. Its body is fully protected by a translucent skin, and its large wings are capable of generating considerable thrust. There are also an additional 2 points in the entry itself, which we will go over now. 1. Poisonous flesh. As is common for rays on 4546b, the ghost ray's flesh is inedible, making it one of the most resilient herbivores. And 2. Feeding behaviour. Feeds on plant matter that has settled on the ground in deep sea caverns. As well as this, there is a little bit more information that wasn't included in this data log entry, which includes: the inner body of the ghost ray resembles closely that of the jelly ray, whilst its outer body is more attuned to that of the crimson ray, which is understandable considering that they all share a common ancestor. The ghost ray does possess some bioluminescence due to its transparency. It emits a cyan glow. It also possesses 2 organs behind its eyes that emit a red bioluminescent glow. The ghost ray is also docile, meaning that it will not attack the player but instead just swims around without aim. And the ghost ray can spawn in 7 different biomes, with the main one being the Lost River, with the rest being sublocations within the Lost River. The overall assessment for this creature as seen in the data log entry: inedible. But as you can probably already tell from the start of the video, that's not all. We're going to be covering all 4 of these species found throughout the planet of 4546b, is another 3 related species, with the first of the 3 being the jelly ray, which is also thought to be another one of the older species of ray on the planet. So let's get straight into the general comment for this creature in its data log entry, which describes it as: this species has adapted to low light environments with a translucent, luminescent body. There are also an additional 2 points in the entry itself, which we will go over now. 1. Luminescent body. This adaptation may help to light up the surrounding area for foraging, ward away predators, and identify the organism to others of its kind. The luminescent light is violet in colour with a pattern of bright pink along its back. And 2. Light sensitivity. Smaller creatures have been seen swimming in the jelly ray's wake to take advantage of the light source for their own ends, and the ray itself will approach light sources, perhaps mistaking them for others of its own species. As well as this, there is a little bit more information that wasn't included in this data log entry, which includes: the jelly ray has 6 circles on either side of its body, and it is theorized that this might be the creature's eyes, but at this point their purpose is still unknown. Like the ghost ray, the jelly ray is passive and glides around aimlessly while also making high-pitched cries while doing so. The jelly ray spawns in only 2 different biomes, including the deep Grand Reef and mushroom forest. Also, if you put a jelly ray or its egg into the bioreactor, then they will produce 350 and 119 energy respectively. The overall assessment for this creature as seen in the data log entry, inedible. The second of the three related species is the crimson ray, which is said to be a more recent evolution of the ghost ray. So let's get straight into the general comment for this creature in its data log entry, which describes it as one of the largest rays on the planet, displaying generally docile behaviour. There are also an additional 2 points in the entry itself, which we will go over now. 1. Thick scaling. Scales formed on the skin protect this ray from extreme temperatures, allowing it to survive in areas unpopulated by competing scavengers. And 2. Forward-mounted eye sockets suggest a predatory evolutionary history left behind long ago. As well as this, there is a little bit more information that wasn't included in this data log entry, which includes: although the body shape and size of the crimson ray is identical to that of the ghost ray, there are some major differences between the two creatures, such as the crimson ray possesses an opaque body rather than a translucent one. It is red, orange and yellow in colour, and emits a yellow bioluminescent glow from its gills. Again, just like its previous two relatives, the crimson ray is a passive species, which can be seen swimming aimlessly around its biome, sometimes in groups. The crimson ray spawns in only 2 different biomes, including the inactive lava zone and lava lakes. The overall assessment for this creature as seen in the data log entry, inedible. The third and final of these related species is the rabbit ray, which seems to be the most distant relative of the lot and the most recent evolution. So let's get straight into the general comment for this creature in its data log entry, which describes it as a herbivorous aquatic life form. Rabbit rays appear to live serene and solitary lives with few predators, a natural sense of curiosity and awesomely poisonous flesh. There are also an additional 2 points in the entry itself, which we will go over now. 1. Ears. Twin orange appendages mounted on the head sense vibrations in the water. And 2. Undulating wings. Markedly similar method of transportation to that of Earth rays. 0 genetic resemblance detected, suggesting 2 species independently developed similar solutions to their environmental circumstances. Underneath this, there was a bit of additional information which reads: evidence indicates its large side-facing eyes are relatively recent adaptations. It is likely there are related ray species in other environmental biomes on the planet. As well as this, there is a little bit more information that wasn't included in this data log entry, which includes: like its relatives, the rabbit ray is a passive creature. However, unlike its relatives, this species is a lot smaller in size and fairly different in shape and coloration, which is mostly capable of emitting a bioluminescent glow. Although rabbit rays can be seen swimming around, you may come to notice that they generally do not stray far from their eggs in order to keep a watchful eye on them. The rabbit ray can spawn in 5 different biomes, including the crash zone mesas, kelp forest, safe shallows, and one that is a bit of a story spoiler, the primary containment facility aquarium. Also, if you put a rabbit ray or its egg into the bioreactor, then they will produce 420 and 140 energy respectively. The overall assessment for this creature as seen in the data log entry, inedible but harmless. And with that, the rabbit ray wraps up the 4 species that currently share the common ancestor of the alpha ray. However, with new species being introduced into Subnautica below 0 with every update, there is a possibility for there to be others included in the expansion, which I will include in a part 2 video if needed. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification icon if you never want to miss another upload from Project Archivist. If you want to support the channel, then you can do so by becoming a channel member through the join button on the channel homepage. You can also support Project Archivist on Patreon, where you can join a tier and earn constant rewards for your support. You can find links to both of these in the description. And with that, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.